Morning, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Welcome to Authentic Transformations with Moji. It's Friday, the 22nd of July, 2022. There's been so much going on in the world, but let me introduce myself for those of you guys that do not know me. My name is Moji Solo Wilson. I'm a licensed New York State real estate broker, a real estate investor, a certified life coach, and an inclusion and diversity specialist. I've been doing this thing on on Facebook for quite a number of years, and I've slowed down a little bit. But I had to come up and start talking about relationships again. We did that for many years when Moji, was going through my own stuff, remember? But do me a favor, if you're here, please do me a favor and share the video. While you guys are doing that, if you're here, say hello so I know that you're there. And while you're doing that, let me do something that I have to do because my wife, Margaret, helped me to build this little platform. Here we go. Good morning again. It's Moji Solo Wilson. It's good to see you guys. Say hello if you're here. Hi, Annika. It's good to see you. Share the video for me so we can get to this conversation to a bit more people, a lot more people. So I've been seeing all kinds of stuff on social media. There was in Nigeria, there is an actress that's married to another actor, and the husband decided to take a second wife, right? And she kind of kept quiet. She seemed to be happy with the whole arrangement. And then she came up last week and said, I'm very depressed. And people are jumping up and down, telling her to manage the relationship. Then you have couples that are killing themselves. I mean, there's a guy that killed his wife and a wife that murdered her husband. And then you have people that are all over the place. You have a couple in Nigeria again that the husband killed the wife and kind of disposed of her body in a well. Ew, that was absolutely disgusting. And the one that really got me to do this today is the couple that the husband was showing, recorded his wife while she was very upset with him, but we didn't get the full story. Oh, are you okay? We didn't get the full story, and sorry about the lighting, but we didn't get the full story because the husband obviously just showed pictures or the video of just the wife shouting at him and such, right? So that happened. We didn't say anything. But the piece that got me talking today is the fact that a lot of people are telling women and men to stay in horrible relationships, to stay in relationships that don't make sense, to continue to manage their relationships. I mean, what kind of a life is it where you're managing a relationship? So I figure, look, let's talk about this. Let's have this conversation. Marriage is not for everybody. Let's just be real. In Africa, if you're a woman and you're not married, or you're not with a partner, or you're not with a man, you're not considered good quality woman. And no matter how accomplished you are as a woman in Africa, if you don't have a husband, you're considered unworthy to be a woman. If you don't have children, oh no, you're definitely not a woman. Come on now. A lot of us, and I say us because I'm one of them, we have fallen into that trap where we are expected to be married. We must be married. We should be married. So people are managing relationships. My thing is, you should not be managing relationship. It's a bit too bright. We should not be managing relationship. This is 2022, guys. 2022. We should not be managing relationships. Everybody is not meant to be married. Everybody is not meant to be heterosexual. Everybody is not meant to be, queer or gay. By the way, if you guys are on my personal page, I can't see your comments. So you're going to have to come to my public page, but you can listen in. I just can't see your comments on my personal page. But hello, Yvonne. Hello, Anike. If you're on here, please say hello to me so I know you're there and we can make this a real conversation. In a few minutes, I'm going to plug in the the link to come to the back channel. As you know, that's what we do here. So you can come in and just give us your view. You don't have to agree with me. I love it when people challenge my thoughts, actually. It helps me to grow. But the way I say it, look, it's perfect. My father was married to 12 wives. 12. Don't ask me why. I don't know. He died before I was old enough or brave enough to say, hey, Dad, what are you doing? We just made jokes about it. And a lot of his wives, I must tell you, were broken. Broken. So when this actor came up and said he's getting a second wife in 2022, I'm like, whoa, what's wrong with these women? Why do you feel you need half a partner? And then I realized, wait, there's polygamous relationship, polygamous relationship. There's polyamorous relationship. There's all kinds of new ships that are being designed out there, aside of the ones we know. Polygamy, we know from way back. One man marries God knows how many women, right? And women settle because they believe without a man or without a partner, they're not enough. Look, for me personally, and everybody can do what makes them happy. If you choose to be in a relationship where somebody tells you you're not enough for them and you're fine with it, please don't come out and say you're depressed. I get that you're depressed, but you're not a tree. If you're in a bad relationship that's not working for you and you've tried everything you can do and you're still there, I'm telling you, you are not a tree. Hello, Mary. You're not a tree. So what do? You figure out a plan, you come up with a plan, and you leave. Don't do what a lot of us did, where we settled into the wrong life. I repeat, a lot of people settle into the wrong life because they choose their partners for the wrong reasons. I'm telling you, guilty, guilty, guilty. I did that before. I know what it cost me mentally, emotionally, financially. And when we talk about relationships, love ships especially, love ships, your love ship, your relationship, your marriage affects me. Ask me how. Your marriage to the wrong partner, when it starts to affect you mentally and you become angry and you start walking around like a bee on wheels, right? You realize that your attitude in society, your crankiness, your nastiness, your aggression, because you're in a bad, jacked up marriage, or because your pipes are backed up for like days or years, right? So you're not happy. When you're not happy, you cannot treat people well. You cannot respect me as a lesbian woman. Then you have a problem with my life because I'm happily married to the love of my life that I found at 50 something. So when I come to you and say marriage is not for everybody, and marriage does not have a timeline, marriage is not do or quench. For you that are not Nigerians, quench it is dying. You don't have to die. And when people talk about death, when I talk about death, people think I mean physical death. No. There's a mental death. Once you're mentally dead, you just go through life each day. You find no joy. You lose your compassion. You lose your empathy. You become angry at the world. And you're not able to live your best life because you're not living an authentic life, right? Marriage is not for everybody. Everybody's not meant to be married. There's some people that are just meant to be side chicks. There's some people that are just meant to be married. There's some people that are meant to be married. There's some people some people don't even want to be married. But society pressures them into getting married. Society pressures them into getting married and settling for less. I had a young woman call me the other day. She's going to be getting married to a police officer in America. He has a high school degree, and she has a master's or a doctorate or something. And her parents are upset. And I said, look, your parents are not upset because you're getting married to somebody that has less than you. They're upset because of the fact that when you marry less, especially women marry less and they're cool with it. But women, when you marry somebody that's less than you, they tend to be upset. Eventually the men will start to have, ego issues. They'll start to want you to step down. When you're here and you're with somebody that's down there, the person either comes up to meet you on your level or they have to come down. You have to come down, right? So Your parents, I said to her, are not upset that you're married. It's not the monetary issue. It's a mental abuse that comes with marrying a man that's less. It's a mental abuse that comes with being with somebody that whose ego has to be stroked every day. And people call me an elitist. She's like, oh, I couldn't say that. People think I'm an elitist. I'm like, honey, every time I brought a friend home, my dad would ask me, who's their father? Because who is their father teaches, your parents and my parents, the character, they get to understand their mindset and things like that. A lot of us are settling. We're settling for less. We're settling. I settled for a lot less. I even settled for a fake life. I did. Accountability on me, not my parents, not society, not anybody else, because I did not have the courage to live my authentic life. Now, why am I talking to you? If you're in a bad relationship with a person, if you're in a relationship where you've tried everything, you tried therapy, you tried counseling, you've called a life coach, you've done everything you can and it's not working, fire the person. Because if you don't fire that person, you will not have the opportunity to find somebody that loves you, all of you, including what you hate the most about you. They're willing to accept all of you. When I was married before, I felt less, so I accepted less. And I allowed my ex to treat me like garbage, to treat me less, because I, Moji, chose the wrong partner. I was looking for a beard. I wasn't looking for, I was looking for a beard. I was looking for a cover so people won't realize that I'm gay. Not only, let me tell you, anytime you do some kind of fuckery out there, it comes back. Not only did I lose money, a lot of money, I lost my self-esteem, because somebody telling you that you're not good enough, you're this, you're that, so they can feel good. It only breaks you. So when whatever Udeshu's wife sat on IG and started whining and complaining about how she's depressed, I felt bad for her. But the truth is, we have to start taking accountability for our lives. No, my sympathy is not even, it's not that I'm not that generous with my sympathy anymore, because at the end of the day, the reason why a lot of people are in the same jacked up relationship for years and years is because a lot of Africans and Black women, you guys, we will do whatever to stay in a marriage so we can be called Mrs. I think I told you guys the story, remember? A while back about a friend of mine. Hi, Michael Ajayi, it's good to see you. I remember telling you, I had a friend, acquaintance I now know to call those kind of people, right? I had a friend who said to me when I was getting a divorce many years ago, this was like 2003, I was separated. And the person and I were friends before I got married the first time. And she came to me and said, oh, you have to call me Mrs. And I'm like, I've always called you by your first name. Now I'm being demoted because what? And she stayed in a horrible relationship. Today, she and her husband are living separate lives. Moji is happily married to her new partner, to the love of my life. And I'm living La Viva Loca and everybody's upset. It's like, hello, I paid the price. You have to pay the price. You have to walk away. You have to always do what is right for your spirit and for you. There's a lot of gay people in the closet and they all get upset with Moji because I post pictures of me and my wife. Honey, it's not about you. I feel bad that you are not out of the closet, but let me tell you, it took me 40 years to accept myself. 40. And I'm 58 this year. So I don't knock people in the closet. I'm just saying, don't hate those of us that are not in the closet, that chose to be out to pay the price. Everybody has a pathway that they choose for themselves, voluntarily or involuntarily. If you choose to stay in a relationship where the guy is beating you up, it's after the first slap, after the second slap, after the third slap, people say, oh, I'm staying for the children. No, you're not. You're staying because you don't have the courage to leave. And I get it. You're staying because you like to be Mrs. Lagbaja. I get it. But own it. Own this. Own your truth. Until we start telling ourselves the truth, absolutely no way to grow. Your mindset is honestly your wealth. When you believe you deserve better, No matter what the price is, you do. You do what it takes to get where you need to go. People are sitting around saying, oh, my husband won't let me do this. I want a business, but my husband won't do it. My Auntie Moji, can you please? No, I'm not helping you lie to your husband. I'm sorry. I'm the most hated Nigerian lesbian woman because I tell people don't cheat on your partners. Yes. I don't believe you should. I've been cheated on before. I know exactly what it feels like. And I get that you're a lesbian and you can't come out. But here's the thing. We're in 2022. Nobody's asking you to come out of the closet and start waving a flag. I'm asking you to stay authentic so you can find your mate. No magic happens in any closet, in a straight closet. If you're financially struggling and you're in the closet, you can't get out of it because there's no way to find people to help you because you're too busy fronting on social media that you're rich. And a lot of you guys marry people. You meet somebody on social media and they're showing off and they're showing you all these things. You're not asking for receipts because the guy's wearing a Louis Vuitton Coach or whatever bag or shoe. You think they have money because they're sitting on a Range Rover. You think they have money. Just because your ass is on it does not make it an asset, honey. So you get married to this person that you've never met, or maybe the guy came to Nigeria one day and he's spending naira when 1,000, 2,000 naira, $2,000 makes you a millionaire. Did you know that? Our rent in America, the average rent is $1,000 a month. In Nigeria, $1,000 a month is 500,000 naira. So he comes to Nigeria and spends a couple of naira on you. And you think he's rich. So you jump and you marry the guy after seeing him for the first once. And then you get to America and realize the guy is living in a project. Now you're upset. You're marrying for the wrong reasons. You know, at 58, what I now know is that you marry the person that you cannot live without. A lot of people are married to people they can live with. It means that you're managing that person. It means that you're tolerating that person. It means that you do not value yourself. Because when you value yourself, you want a symbiotic relationship. You don't want a parasitical relationship. You want somebody that gives to you and you take from. Because when you give all of you, everything, you have nothing left, right? And then you start getting angry, every little comment. I've been there. I'm telling you, I used to hate people that were in love when I was single. I'm like, why are they showing off? What's wrong with these people? But when you really, truly love and are in love with a partner that you chose, not settled for, even the hard times, you can find something to laugh about. Really. Marriage is not do a quench because a lot of people are dying. A lot of people are dying. I'm putting the link on the thing. If you guys want to come into the back studio, just click on that link and I'll bring you up. A lot of people are dying emotionally, spiritually, financially. They're dying. They're dying. I had a young woman call me the other day. You know, I'm a certified life coach. I just don't charge people for it. I spend hours on the phone with people all day long. And, you know, it's really sad that in 2022, women are achieving more. They're behaving better. They're owning who they are, especially Black women. But yet there's still this rhetoric that we're supposed to be baby-making machines. I swear to God. Let me tell you, you see, I'm looking a lot better. I'm feeling a lot better. I've lost a lot of weight. In the past 5 years that I found love, I have learned a lot. And I found real, authentic, amazing, beautiful love. I now know the difference. And what I try and tell a lot of the young people that I mentor is that your partner is so important in life. Where you're going, how you're going to get there, what do they contribute? Even if your partner is a house husband or a housewife, your sanity in the house is so important. If your husband is doing something and you have dreams and goals and they're not helping you pull it together, that's not that's not a partnership. You guys have to stop, in my opinion, and I always say my opinion, people have to stop looking for marriage. And those of you guys that keep saying marriage is a piece of paper, that's because you've never been truly in a real partnership. When you're in a real partnership, where your partner values you and you value your partner and you respect you and you respect your partner and vice versa, it's like amazing. Freaking amazing. And even when you're going through a rough time and you're going through a bad time and you have baby kids that are trying to destroy your relationship, or homophobic families and homophobic friends and things. You have each other to anchor each other. You should not settle. Don't settle. Marriage is not do or die. Marriage can break you. I was almost broken. And not only for you. Don't have children with somebody that you can manage. You know how people just roll in bed one day and blah, blah, blah. Don't have children because society tells you you must have children. Let me tell you why. Children destroy a lot of relationships, especially the second relationship around. When you marry somebody that you really care about and you're friends with and you love and all that, right? What happens is that you guys are able to raise children that are well. But a lot of us are broken and we continue to create we take our brokenness into marriages, and our brokenness now breaks our children, right? Our children are not functioning properly in 2022 because we are broken. So you are broken and you find marriage, you find somebody to marry, and then you're still broken. Now you raise children that are broken. They go out there and marry people that are broken, and the cycle continues. That's why a lot of the Black race are not growing. Anyways, if you would like to come on the back into the studio with me, just click on the link. I see Coach Yvonne here. Good morning, Coach Yvonne. How are you? You're on mute. Can you unmute yourself? Actually,
yeah.
Perfect. So the topic of the day is the topic of the day is marriage is not doing. What is your? I'm going to mute my mic.
Okay, can you hear me? I don't know what's going on. You can hear me? Okay. Marriage is a beautiful constitution. I am a relationship and family healing transformational coach, and I specialize in that. For one thing, given my own history, I've been married for 41 years to my best friend. And the walk of marriage hasn't always been easy, but we grew up together, and now we're getting old together. We laugh about that. We're getting older together, but it's a beautiful constitution, and it's not to be taken lightly. A lot of what's happening is a lot of people are getting married for most of the wrong reasons, and commitment is a hard thing in any relationship. So marriage, it's even harder. But the thing is, you have to learn how to give and take. It's a compromise, and you have to have some type of chemistry for it to work and to be successful. Working together as a team is usually the best way. You know, if you're getting married because the person is financially, rich or whatever the case may be, and a lot of times those relationships, it's controlling, and then you become so dependent on that control, and you're not being your own self. I can think of a lot of reasons why marriages don't work. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, you have to have that teamwork. You have to have that teamwork. And it has to be, like you said, Moji, somebody that, that you can't live without. Not, oh, I can't stand being around him or her or whatever. That's not constitute as a great marriage. But when you can share things, like I can sit sometimes and say, oh boy, I wish my baby would call me, and he'll call. It's like he feels me, so we feel each other. So that's the kind of love that you want in your marriage, and being there for one another. It's the best feeling in the world. So I just wanted to share that. And you all have a blessed and wonderful Friday. Thank you, Moji.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Like Coach Yvonne said, the one of the most amazing things is to marry somebody, like I've always said on this show, that you cannot live without. It cannot be somebody that you can live with, because then you can find somebody else that you can live with, right? That's number one. When you engage with people on a friendship level, part of the problem is that you guys do jiggy jiggy. You meet somebody today, boost, you do jiggy jiggy, right? Once you do, for those that don't know what jiggy jiggy is, you have to go Google. You have to go find the dictionary of Moji's world. But when you're doing the jiggy jiggy with people that you don't know anything about, we already know, especially for women, that once we have intimate something with someone, for some reason our hearts are connected down there. A lot of women, not all women, but we start getting silly and getting butterflies, and it could be just gas. So now you think you're having butterflies because you have gas and you have this euphoria from doing the jiggy jiggy, and everything's absolutely feeling great. You think, oh, this is the one. You don't know anything about this person. You don't know if they're drug dealer. You do not know their family history. You don't know if they have sickle cell. You don't know if they're SS or what. You don't know what their medical health is. You don't know anything about them. And now you're rushing into a marriage. And let's be real. There's some people that are just money sexuals. I repeat, some people are money sexuals. And yes, I came up with that word. Money sexuals, there's a lot of money sexuals in my country. So people are attracted to money. They don't care who's holding the wallet. All they want is the money in the wallet. So they're money sexuals. And then you have green card sexuals, which is a lot that's going on these days, where you find an older guy, an older woman, white woman usually, or maybe a successful Nigerian, and you find that this woman that's successful in America is dating some embryo in Nigeria, right? I'm not saying it's all a scam, but 95.5% of those things, the guy just wants to come to America. So he gets to America, and this 70-year-old woman is now put on the side, and they tell you, manage it. Manage what? Don't manage. You don't manage your makeup. You don't manage your food. Some people manage their food, but I don't. I'm a foodie. People will tell you manage the relationship. Shebi, he only slapped you once, so stay. The next time the guy murders you. Oh, he's been cheating on me since we got married. Just manage him. When he gets to be 99.9 years old, he'll stop cheating. Your life is over at that point. Or she's going to stop cheating when you're much older. When she's much older, your life is over. And one thing Moji will always say, everybody cannot go the journey with you. So this notion of, oh, let's not get divorced because of the children, you need to start throwing that nonsense out. Because when you're in a bad relationship, you're teaching your daughters what to accept in a relationship. You're teaching your sons how to treat women. I repeat, when you stay in a bad relationship, you're teaching your daughters what to accept in a relationship, and you're teaching your sons how to treat women. How you treat yourself in that relationship is how your daughters will go out and be in a relationship. I have no problems with money sexuals. If all you're attracted to is money, that's fine. Full disclosure. So the person knows that if they lose their money, you'll be gone. Because when you're in a partnership or in a love ship that's really based on love and friendship and partnership, when something drastically bad happens, the relationship might be rocky, but it still stays together. Stop managing partners that are abusive, that are destructive, that cheat on you, that see no value in you. Everything starts and stops with us. If you're accepting bad behavior from your husband because society tells you to manage that person, it means you don't love yourself. People that love themselves don't accept bad treatment from other people. You want to be with somebody that sees the value in you. You want to be with somebody. If you are, look, let's be real. Some people like to be treated bad. If that's what turns you on, by all means, shuku to you. Shuku to you. But if you know that it's a relationship is affecting your mental health to the point where you're suicidal, and people are telling you just manage it and go into your war closet and pray, Are you kidding me? You should pray, but you must get tools. You should see a therapist. If you're with somebody if you marry somebody and they marry somebody else on top of you and you don't like it, leave. You're not a tree. And even in 2022, we can excavate a tree and move it elsewhere. When you stay in bad relationships, it's a self-imposed prison. It is. It's a self-imposed prison. And you're the only one that can get yourself out of it. When people tell you, manage a relationship, you tell them, nah. Love is supposed to not always feel great, but it should feel good. No matter how much my wife and I disagree on anything, I know she's not going anywhere. That's how confident I am. No, and there's no relationship where people don't have disagreements, where people don't fight, where people don't have conversation opposite. My wife sometimes and I are on different ends of a subject, but we learned to disagree, to agree to disagree. We learned that. We learned that it's okay. I have my own experiences. She has hers. The same way you should be able to be your authentic self in your relationship. And anybody that takes too much away from you, that takes everything away from you, as in self-respect, money, time, everything, and not invest in you as well, that's not a relationship. For me, anyone that comes to me and says, oh, I want another partner, obviously tells me I'm not enough. And yes, I like being the only, I like being the queen. Because I will treat you like my queen because I'm a lesbian, you, your husband. And I want you to treat me like your queen. I want you to know that that's what I am. I'm here to protect you. I will take a bullet for my wife. But again, I have to give you a disclaimer. Do what works for you. If you like to be part of a harem, shuku to you, but don't complain. If you want to be in a relationship with a person that abuses you and beats you up because you're afraid, then don't complain. But if you're in a bad relationship, we have people, we have coaches, we have not-for-profit organizations that helps people across the globe get out of bad situations that we get ourselves in. Sometimes because we don't love ourselves. Sometimes because we come from a bad home where all we saw was abuse. And I'm not even talking today because of you. I gave 30 years of my life to my children. I wanted everything to be perfect, not realizing that I don't owe them all of me. I needed to keep something for myself. You see how I play, a lot of the songs I play these days is It's My Turn to Be All I Can Be by Diana Ross. Because you as a human being should have full autonomy. You should have fun. You should be able to laugh. You should be able to cry. You should be able to be yourself with the person that you call your partner. A lot of people are in marriages that are not partnerships. Your whole life should not be dedicated to building somebody up unless that's what you want to do. If you have dreams and goals, you shouldn't be with a person that puts you down, that doesn't believe in you, that doesn't help you build. The day I went to my wife and said, oh, we were looking for a second home. And I said, let's go look at this property. I didn't even realize it was 40 acres. It turns out it's a whole 40 acres. And then we bought the property. And I'm like, this thing reminds me of Nigeria because when I drove there, the hair, my body started to stand up. And we looked at each other and I said, we should build an African village. She looked at me. She doesn't even like construction, but I do. And she's like, yeah, that's a good idea. And today we own Solo Wilson Village. It's on short-term rentals where people get married and all kinds of stuff. That was my dream. Here we are. Because I wanted to go back home, but I can't. And she doesn't want to go back home. So we created something to help us both feel at home. That's what a partnership and relationship should feel like. Unless you like pain. But if you do like pain, please don't complain. Right? Don't complain. If you do like pain, do not complain. So Udacio's wife that said she's depressed and she's falling into a depression, and you guys are telling her to stay, shame on you. Because when she decides she doesn't want to be on earth anymore, then people will be like, oh, she should have left the marriage. No, tell her now. Tell her the truth. Don't waste her life. Don't, please tell her the truth. Marriage is not do or die. If it's not working, leave. See, everybody is not going to stay in our life all through. Some people are here for a short time. Some people are here forever. Coach Yvonne has been in a marriage for 41 years. I've never met anybody in a relationship for 41 years. My father, like I said, married 12 wives. This, for me, is new. And that's one of the reasons. I surround myself with people that are doing things. And being in a relationship for 41 years, by the way, is not my benchmark. Being in a good relationship is my benchmark. And when she tells you that she's so connected with her partner that she's thinking about him and then he'll call, my God, that's a connection. My wife finishes my sentence. She knows me so well. She knows when Mujikwa is coming out. You know, she knows me, the good, the bad, and the ugly. To me, that's a great relationship. It's not always sweet because there's outside factors. Like when I get beaten up on social media and I come back home and I'm quiet, she gets me. You know, she gets me. She gets my assignment. She gets my purpose. Everything starts with us, guys. We are the curator of our dreams. We decide how we want to live our lives. Do not allow society to tell you nothing if you don't have a husband or a wife. Live your own life. Live, design, and be willing to pay for the life that you want, because that's the only way to do it. You have to put in the work. Sometimes you need a therapist. Sometimes we had to get marriage counseling because my kids were acting crazy. That's why I gained all that weight. That's why I was looking kind of funky for a while, and I stayed off of social media. And as I healed, I started to come back because I couldn't understand how, after giving 30 years of my life, which I didn't, nobody asked me to. And that's part of the problem. We don't even know. A lot of women don't even know you don't have to be married. You can live. Oprah is living with a partner for God, 100 years with no marriage. For me, I didn't believe in marriage. When I met my wife, my God, I knew she was the one. Nobody had to convince me. I didn't ask anybody if you think I should marry her. I just knew. I just knew. When you meet the one, you know. When you really truly meet the one, you will know. Don't let anybody tell you to manage anybody. Don't manage a relationship. Managing a relationship. This is not this is not 1969 where they had arranged marriages in Africa. And you pick the one you want. It's like, and people tell you there's no partners out there. There's tons of people. Problem is a lot of us are not authentic. So we keep attracting the wrong people because we are not being truthful. If I show up at Mary Jane, who's a church-going woman and long skirt and stuff, the partner I meet is looking for exactly that. But I was sitting here doing my show, remember? And that's how I met my wife. Right here. Right here. Being authentic. A lot of people are in the closets, in different closets of their lives, when there's somebody looking for exactly who you are. But another problem is that a lot of people don't even know themselves. It took me a long time to get here. My journey to self was not easy. Coach Yvonne, you want to come back in? Talk to us.
Yes. What you just touched on something very, 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 very important. You know, a lot of times we as people have gone through some trauma or some type of hurt, pain. And before we can try to be in a relationship with anybody, we have to first heal from that trauma, that pain that we've been involved in. You have to heal. And then that after healing from that, it opens you up to who you are. And then you get to know who you are. You know, I have certain steps in my program. I have a program called From Crisis to Abundance, and I have steps, self-care, and then we get into our healthy boundaries. And then before we get into the healthy boundaries, I'm sorry, we do self-care, it's accountability, and then it's healthy boundaries. Equals is a formula, and it equals peace, joy, and happiness.
Yeah. Oh, I think she got kicked out. Well, Are you back? What happened?
Because I
Well,
see it's the signal. But yeah. But healing is a big part of getting to where you need to go and to whom you need to be with, or in your choosing or whatever. But you have to take accountability for your actions as well, things that you need to work on, and have a level field with yourself,
and you also have to have the courage to,
so you can get to know you
yeah.
before you can try to be with somebody else.
Amen to that. So we keep losing you because of your Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you,
anyways,
Moji.
no, thank you for being here, and I'm going to end the show in a few minutes, and then I'll share it all over the place. But thank you for coming in. It's been a great conversation, and I'll talk to you soon. I'm going to remove you from the studio, and then I'll do my closing statements. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you for being here. Thank you. So, like Coach Yvonne said, I'm a certified life coach. I went to training, and so is she. You sometimes cannot do these things on your own. Reach out to family, reach out to friends, reach out to people that you see how they're living their lives, not people that you know are miserable at home and they just want you to be part of the crew, right? Don't settle for, don't manage a relationship, don't manage a man, don't manage a woman, don't manage a relationship where you're being abused emotionally, physically, or financially. I mean, if you're being abused, period, leave the relationship. You have to have the courage to walk. And as you're walking, make sure you find a team or a group of people that can help you heal so that you can see the value in yourself, so that you can understand that you are worthy. You're worthy of respect. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of everything that you want. There's always a hat for your head. No matter how big your head is, there's a hat that's going to fit. Thing is, you have to know that you have a big head. Sounds crazy, right? You do. You have to know who you are. You have to understand yourself. Once you understand yourself and you let your light shine, you will attract the right people. But while you're still pretending, if you're gay and you're pretending to be straight, you're not going to want to be with somebody who's confident, who's loving, who's kind, because you don't think you deserve it. Been there, guilty. And the moment I started to love myself, the moment I started to walk in my truth, I attracted love. Nothing happens, nothing great, amazing happens in your comfort zone. It's not easy to be authentic. You lose a lot of friends, you lose a lot of people, but you're dying inside while you're staying married to the wrong opposite gender that you really don't want to be with. And you're depriving that guy the opportunity to meet the love of his life that truly wants him. Fact. Same thing goes with a heterosexual couple. When they're in this heterosexual or heteronormative relationship, and the husband is just managing the wife because she can cook, she can clean, she can do this, but she's not good in bed, she's not trustworthy, she looks good on his arms, but he's not happy. That's why half of these men cheat. They cheat because if they have respect for you, they will not cheat. If they have the respect for themselves, they wouldn't cheat. Because if you're cheating, you have to lie. Anybody that's cheated has to lie. You have to cover your tracks. You have to pretend. And if you are a woman that continues to stay in a relationship where your husband is cheating, and they keep telling you, no, 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 wait till he's older, honey. Wait till he's older. Older when? When he's 99 and you're 85, and now all your best years are gone. They tell you wait till he's older. All your best years are gone. It's just you. Now the man is too tired to be running the streets, and you probably have to take care of him. So you've lost your youth. You've lost the best years of your life. You're now 80, freaking 70, 50, 60. You've spent 20. People think it's the length of the marriage. No, it's not the length of the marriage, folks. It's the quality of the marriage. You cannot be married for 30, 40 years and you cry every day and you're telling people I'm married. And that's your claim to fame. If you're not happy in the marriage, what's the point? And when you stay in jacked up relationships, you never get there. If I, Muji, had stayed in my relation, in my fake life, I would never have had the opportunity to be with my wife. You have to pay a price for everything in this world. A lot of you don't want to step back like a catapult so you can be pulled back and what? Go further than you'll ever go. For me, my partnership, my marriage is a partnership. It's not I see you, Teresa, it's not a business. No, it's a partnership. I bring to the table, she brings to the table. We complement each other. And yes, everybody is not going to be that lucky, but I'm telling you, it's something you can derive, you can work towards. Teresa, if you want to come into the back channel, just click on there and I'll bring you up on stage. It's something you can build. Relationships are built. When we first met, we didn't get along like this. We got to know each other. We built it. And stop sleeping with people on the first at hello. I didn't see my wife on camera. I didn't even know what she looked like. And I'm not saying everybody should do that. I'm telling you what worked for me. I didn't see my wife until maybe like 2-3 months. And while we were talking every day, she would go to the gym. She lived in a different town. She would go to the gym with me on the phone. I didn't see a picture. I didn't know anything about her. Seriously. And then a few months later, we met. And even then, I got an engagement ring before doing the jiggy jiggy. Anybody that truly values you and wants you in their life will do what it takes to build a solid foundation. Too many relationships are being built on the wrong materials. Instead of using concrete and blocks and bricks, a lot of people are building on fluff. She looks good. He looks cute. He's rich. Money can go tomorrow. I've been there. I lost everything at one point. And then I started to build myself back. But this, my intellect, my integrity, name it. Nobody can take that away from me. That's why I tell people, I don't tell my daughter, when are you getting, I never have that conversation. When are you getting married? It's all about self-development. Develop yourself and you'll find somebody that wants to be with you. Develop yourself and you will, no joke, marriage should be evaluated. I like that concept. Marriage should be evaluated and the license renewed every 2 years or maybe 5 years. But seriously, every 5 years. Every 5 years, people should renew their vows. They should rewrite. Seriously, this is strictly what I believe in. They should write their vows. Oh, one of the things I said to my wife, no, I'm not even going to tell you guys, but for those that were at the wedding, people almost fainted. But it was important to me. Look, if you know that if you cannot do the jiggy jiggy, it's going to break the deal unless your wife is sick, right? Then put it in your contract. All those marriage vows are contracts. And we don't think about the vows till death do us part. Oladeoye, death does not do most marriages apart. You know what creates divorces? Ego, cheating, low self-esteem, right? And all kinds of stuff. It's very rarely there are relationships, of course, that death do apart. But most cases, lack of trust and all kinds of stuff because people have not built a solid foundation. I believe in marriage. I used to sit on this show and say, marriage is just a piece of paper. That's because I was miserable and I wasn't in love. Moji, personally, I believe in marriage. I love being married. Marriage to me is a sense of a person that you love and you want to secure. That marriage license is not just it. I mean, you take the paper, all the perks, tax breaks and yada yada, and your partner is telling the whole world, this is a person I chose. That's what that piece of paper means to me. But the partnership, the friendship, the loveship, the jiggy jiggy ship, that encompasses everything in a partnership. The give and the take. The build me up, I build you up. The whatever, that you guys agree on that works for both of you, not society telling you to stay in a jacked up relationship. Because look, 70% of marriages, Google it, end up in the divorce. 50% of married people are miserable. 50, more than 50 actually. Married people are miserable. People will come up and tell me, oh, I've been married for 40 years. And I look at her and say, honey, when was the last time you saw your guys do? Let's be real. Let's be real. Why are you married to the person that you're married to? I have so much respect for my friends that tell me, I don't believe in marriage. And why do I have respect for them? I have respect for them because they know who they are. They know they do not want something and they stick by it. They're not allowing the social pressures to push them into just settling. If you want somebody that cooks and cleans, get a maid. If that's all you want in a relationship, because I hear men say, my wife, she cooks, she cleans, she's a good woman, or she's a good mother. Jeez, what if she couldn't have children? Marry somebody that encompasses all the things that you want. If you want a maid, get a maid, because a lot of men will marry a woman and now they'll go outside and cheat on the woman. And you women, we've had this conversation before. You must understand that when you're in a relationship, unless you've negotiated that the jiggy part is not for you, and your partner says, okay, you need to stop pretending like you're Jesus Christ. Allegedly, 50% of women that are married, heterosexual, homosexual, are cheating. 50%. And you know me, I do research. I have come to the conclusion that a lot of that happens because people do not show up authentically into their relationship. So the partner doesn't really even know how to satisfy them. You can't be gay and be married to a woman because you're not erotically attracted to her. You're just married to your best friend. So the jiggy part you go out and do. But you're doing that because you don't have the courage, in my opinion, to actually live an authentic life where society might shun you or bully you like they bully me every day. But hey, honey, you can bully me all you want. I'm perfectly happy in my imperfect marriage. Yeah, baby. Think about it. Educio's wife is complaining on social media that she's depressed. Go and tell your husband you're depressed. Tell your husband you're depressed, and if he doesn't shape up, you're leaving. But it's too late because the guy already took another second wife. When you should have spoken up, you didn't have the courage to because you wanted to be Mrs. Somebody. Don't come and disturb our own social media space. You have enough money to get a shrink. You have enough money to get a therapist. You have enough money to do so much. And, enough already. Enough of the pointing fingers at everybody else. It's time we start to take accountability for our lives because there's nobody that should die just to have the tag Mrs. It's crazy to me. Another guy killed his wife because he was upset. It didn't start that day. I'm sure he had smacked her a couple of times before and the church told her to go back. I'm sure she had probably run away from her home and went to her parents' house and they sent her back. Don't disgrace the family. That's what a lot of parents do. Just manage him. You know me, you think my father didn't cheat on me. That's what people tell their children. So they go back to abusive relationships. Stop. Go on a journey to self. Go on a self-discovery journey. Get to know yourself. Get to know what you like. Get to know what you don't like. Right? Get to know what you'll settle for. Get to know what the deal breakers are. So that when you meet somebody that you want to be in a partnership with or a relationship with, you can tell them what your boundaries are. If you cheat on me, I'm done. If you lay your hands on me, I'm done. If you do this, I'm that. Look, you should not be a rehabilitation center. There's too many bomb boys out there. Way too many. And there's too many shawarers out there. That all those people are monisexuals, and the bomb boys are looking for a mother because their mother never allowed them to grow. And stop settling for less. If you're a man, men do it differently. because their ego needs to be stroked. But let me tell you, a man will marry a woman that has nothing, right? And they'll be fine with it. A man will marry a woman that has a lot, and their ego will be bruised. Every little thing they'll tell you, oh, is it because you're the one making money? Da, 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 da. There's always going to be stress. Stop settling for less. A lot of Nigerian women are just marrying anything. Honey, there's a lot of different races out there with less baggage than Black people. Yes, I said so. You can go and troll me for that one too. But the truth is the truth. Wait, this is 2022 where we're not allowed to speak the truth. But people keep saying marry your race, only marry your race. If a white man said only marry your race, you guys will, what? You'll call them Karen. But Black people are allowed to strut around saying only marry your race. That's racism. Marry whoever you want. That makes you happy. And when they don't, and you've done all you can, you leave. You deserve to be happy. You deserve joy. And your children should be raised in a loving home. Your children should see and learn how to treat themselves and what not to allow. Most children that come from abusive homes end up being abusive themselves, or they end up accepting abuse because they don't know any better. This is 2022. We're living in a much, much more civilized world. We're living in a world where people can call themselves anything. You can call yourself a table. We all have to call you a table. I can call myself anything. Lesbians can get married in some parts of the world. And people are still hiding in the closet and settling for less and allowing themselves to be punching bags. And by the way, a lot of men get abused by women as well, emotionally and physically. And unfortunately, we have not created a little space or a bigger space for them to be able to speak their truth. Because society will come at this man and say, oh my God, you're a woman rapper, you're this, you're that. You're not strong enough. You're not macho enough. My conversation goes to both genders. Remember to love yourself first. Remember to get to know yourself and heal from your previous pain and traumas, so that you don't enter into a relationship with the wrong person because you're used to being abused. So if somebody doesn't slap you, you don't think they love you, because your parents have always told you, I only slapped you because I love you. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't waste my energy on you. That's how I grew up. But therapy, coaching, everything that I've been through, all the books that I read and read, helped me to heal, helped me to value myself. And some days I still slip. But thank God I'm with a woman that understands me, because I've allowed her to see all of me. Well, maybe not all, but 99.999% of me she knows. Because I think sometimes we hide some things and we forget some things in our brain cells because of the pain and the trauma we've been in. And when you've been through a lot like that, sometimes it's very hard to trust somebody else, and trust has to be earned. Don't go around believing that people that have been married for 40, 50 years are always happy. Life, relationship is a lot of work. What price are you willing to pay for your joy and happiness? Will you continue to settle for less so you can be called Mrs., or so society can say, oh, wow, he's married, she's married? Or are you going to get to know yourself and work on yourself so you can attract the right person and build a relationship that works for you, not what society tells you? Yeah, that's the question. Relationships, marriages are not do or die. You don't have to manage a husband, a wife. If your relationship is affecting your mental health, I ask you to please leave. If you need somebody to talk to, you can reach out to me, back channel me, whatever, I'll answer you. Just know that you are worthy. You're worthy of love. You're worthy. You're worthy of a friendship. You're worthy of a good relationship. But you must do the work. My name is Mojisola Wilson. I'm grateful that you guys joined me today. And I hope to see you guys next week. Normally I do the shows on Wednesdays, but now I'm just going to keep popping in and popping out as life is getting busy. And yeah, you're worthy. Namaste. See you soon.